Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the ThePickleJar Podcast. We are here with Austin Farmer once again. We're going to be talking about the new 80s style Iowa roleplay. We're also going to be talking about some YouTube stuff behind the scenes with sponsorships and other analytical kind of things. Austin, how's it going, bud?
Pretty good. How about yourself, Jake?
I am doing all right. So, today, I guess we'll start out with the new series we have going on, the 80s roleplay. We're just starting it out. We're maybe 2 episodes deep at the time of recording this podcast. How did we come to the conclusion that this was the best route to take, and why did we do it now instead of finishing Nebraska?
Well, my thoughts on it, Nebraska was getting pretty old at that point, and as multiplayer servers progress in their time of being up and stuff, it does seem to bring down the quality of the all-around roleplay and the quality of the videos, because everything starts to lag more, as you know, we all know from experience. It does happen,
right?
And you know, it was just time for a change. It was getting to the point where, like, okay, we need to change this, and we do change stuff all the time. People weren't enjoying the role plays as much.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people were ready for the change. So I saw in the comments, at least, you know, there were some that were mad that we didn't finish Nebraska, and I understand that.
Oh, for sure.
But at the end of the day, the numbers weren't there. The Nebraska series wasn't performing, and it's a hard thing to rectify when you're not even having fun recording on that series. And I don't think any of us were really enjoying that series.
No, I don't think so. And you got to enjoy recording a video. You can't, if you're just doing it just to do it, people will start to notice and they will call you out on it. And
Right.
it does get, and if you're not enjoying it, then what are you doing it for? You should always, I think you should always find something you enjoy and do that.
Absolutely.
If you don't enjoy your job, find a different job.
Yeah.
Or try find something that you will enjoy. If you don't enjoy your job, you're going to hate your life.
Absolutely. And, you know, I was thinking about that a lot today specifically, while at work, actually, not about my job, but just about, I was thinking about the whole mentality of daily uploads and making sure that there's as much content as possible, because really overall, statistically, your views are higher, your subscribe rate is higher, you know, your revenue is higher when you upload daily. But I got to thinking, I was like, man, but they're not really the best videos a lot of the times, at least to my standards, because I'm recording it and putting it up just so I have a video that day. And I think that's a slippery mentality to go down, you know?
Yeah, and I think a lot of YouTubers go through that, like, especially people that can't do this. Like, YouTube is not their full-time job. It's either just a part-time job or it's more of a hobby. It's definitely hard to justify daily uploads.
Right.
And especially when the quality starts to go down. I know Grant himself has struggled with that. He has told me himself.
Right.
But if you can get it to the point where you're enjoying it and you're putting out content you enjoy, whether that's a video a week, a video a month, or a video every day or every 2 days, I think as long as you're enjoying it and you're putting out good content, I think you're fine. Like, as long as you have somewhat of a schedule, I think you're honestly good.
I think if you have a schedule at least, and my philosophy, if you're putting out at least, say, 3 videos a week, now it depends on what your videos are. You know, if your videos are extremely heavily edited, or they're these outlandish, amazing, like, they take a lot of time to film and edit and everything, then, you know, it's understandable to do maybe 1 a week or something like that. But I'm not entirely sure that daily uploads is really necessary. I mean, there are perks to it, but in the grand scheme of things, I think people can tell when a video is a filler video. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and when you're doing this every single day for months on end, you're gonna have some filler videos. It doesn't matter how hard you try. There's gonna be a filler video.
But it's when the majority are filler videos that it becomes a problem. You know?
Then it becomes a real issue, and your content doesn't become as sincere, I guess, is the word I'm looking for there.
And it's not, it's just not as enjoyable. It's not the best it can be. And it comes down to like, why would you put out 6 subpar videos versus that people really are, it's so generic that people could probably care less to watch. They could probably watch the same thing from 1,000 different people versus, 2 or 3 unique, fun, just something with a twist, something that's new, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we're always trying to come up with new content and ideas. Like we will spend hours and hours just talking in Discord about like new video ideas, or I know from experience, we'll stay up late at night just thinking about new video ideas.
We do. We
always try our best to put out new, interesting content.
Yeah, it's recognizing when content has become stale and the numbers aren't there, and it's recognizing that, and then having something lined up to overtake it that's even better than what came before it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. You always want to try up your content game,
right? And I know I've been thinking, because I have an hour drive home every single day and an hour drive to work, so I use that time to try and brainstorm things for the channel, whether it be new content or strategies and whatnot, right? And I think one of my favorite videos personally that I've released recently is the tandem heavy haul video with Clutch. And that video
did really well for you.
It is. It's doing well. It's at 60,000 views at the time of recording this. It continues to climb. It's climbing at the near same kind of suggestion rate of my most popular video, which is very exciting. I think that video has potential to eventually become my most viewed or most popular video. But what's a video of yours recently that you are very proud of that you think should be the bar of all of your videos?
Well, I had one go kind of semi, I guess. It's been the second best video on my channel. I did it about 4 weeks ago, and it was really enjoying to record. It was $500,000 farm gets destroyed by massive flood. That video did really well. It's second best video on the channel. But the video that I personally enjoyed most making was reacting to my first ever Farming Simulator video. I thought that video was just really wholesome. That was the first time I actually enjoyed editing in a while, was when I got to make that video.
Yeah. And that's a good video too. I don't know what that one's got for views for you.
It's got about 10K views.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see here 70,000 views on your flood video. That video, that was a really cool idea.
Yeah, I credit to Grant I think it was Grant that thought of that idea.
I thought of it actually.
Oh, it was you? Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Yeah. No, all good. I don't care, about that stuff. I care about us having fun and everything being worth us being a group. You get what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I want to provide value to the group. That way, these roleplay videos, and it's all dependent on the viewers, of course, if they continue to watch, if they continue to enjoy it. But
for sure.
I think as long as, we all provide value to one another, this can go on for a long time. We can make a lot of videos together. That's
the great thing, I think, of what we've found with role-playing with everybody and doing videos with everybody, is it's all just one big circle. All our videos get recommended to each other, for everybody, for all the viewers here.
Right.
And I noticed even with Spencer, I get some of his viewers on my videos and some of my viewers on his videos. I've even noticed that. And
it creates a nice little network.
Nice wet network, yeah.
Yes, yeah. And that's really important too, having that network and being able to, have cross promotion between channels and being able to be recommended at a pretty high rate on these other channels. It really, really helps out your channel specifically. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we give each other's all ideas. Like,
yeah,
I think sometimes we will copy each other's ideas. We won't try to do it at the same time, but sometimes we will, because hey, that's what we're all doing out here. We're all trying
to make content.
Yeah, we're here to make content. And sometimes someone comes up with a good video idea, and we're like, okay, well, I'll throw my own spin on it.
Right, and it's not necessarily like a disingenuous, I'm going to copy this guy because his did well. It's more of a, man, you had a great idea. I respect that idea was really good. I want to implement it kind of thing. you know?
Oh, for sure. And there's been video ideas that I've had that Jake has done way better on, and there's video ideas that Jake has had and I've done way better on.
Yeah.
Like, just for the flood video, for instance, my video did way better on that, but
yep,
there's also been videos that your videos have done way better on. We give each other ideas, and that always helps.
Right.
With everybody, and it works really well.
It does. I think the group of people we have recording with right now is at least near the best. You know, you never know. Maybe there are other people out there that would be amazing to be in the group too. But I'm very happy with who is all in this kind of little group we have of 6 people, I believe, right? 6?
Yeah, I think it's 6. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's 6. Yeah, it is 6.
I bet, one of the things that I bet a lot of people wonder is, obviously Grant provides a lot of value to us.
Oh, for sure. Grant is like
he's our lifeline.
Yeah, he's our lifeline. He's the one. We wouldn't have channels without him, put it that way.
But I bet a lot of people wonder, what value do we provide to him? You know what I mean? Like, why does he make videos with us? Because he could have chose a million other people. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And this is something I've been trying to get, Grant and I are trying to get together to do a podcast to talk about a lot of stuff. There's so much we could talk about. And I want to ask him that question. But I'm going to stipulate, or kind of, stipulate's the right word here, I suppose, a little bit. And actually it's not, because I've literally heard him say this in conversation. We do provide value because when there's that role play aspect, when there's multiple people and there's interaction, his watch time goes up. His watch time is increased. And that is very, very valuable in the YouTube algorithm, for, YouTube pushing your content even more, and even for your CPM rate. Watch time is huge. So,
oh yeah, for sure.
There's everyone provides value to everyone in this. Are there some that are benefiting more than others? Probably. Yeah. But sure. It's a hard thing to measure. You know what I mean? Switching gears here a little bit, what are you most excited for with this new series, the 80s style?
I think it's going to be really cool to go through the years and stuff, and the equipment's going to change, and the whole map is going to, we're all going to eventually obviously start to upgrade our farms when we go through the 1990s or the 2000s. We'll obviously get there at some point. And I think it will add a whole new aspect. And I think people start to like the maps that we're on. And when they change them, they sometimes get pretty mad. But
especially when it's a good map and a good series. Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely.
I know there was a lot of people that were not very happy about the County Line series that we changed maps. But again, people weren't enjoying the videos as much. And I know the map was totally pretty much gone after we left there. Our frame rates were down to, I think, 10 each.
I mean, it's a great map, and it was a great series, but it kind of run its course. We've done almost, sure, there's more we could do, but we did a lot on that map. And
for sure.
We broke that map so bad. It was we couldn't salvage it. We tried to clean it up and get the frame rates better for weeks, and nothing we would do would help. There was just so much junk on that map. I know Buck was in some dev mode, and there were there was corn mesh or something, cornfield mesh in areas that was causing a lot of lag, and we just broke it, and we had to do a restart, So switching topics again, we're going to kind of jump around all over the place right now. We're going to backtrack a little bit. We were talking about video ideas and how we come up with them, or we're always trying to set the bar even higher and do things even better than before. What's what's kind of the process that goes into that? Is it, because I know we sit down and we will talk for a long time, sometimes at length, about what we need to do. But I think a common misconception about this series is that it is scripted out to a T. You know what I mean?
And it's not. It takes a lot of planning. It does. Some of it, of course, if we set up a semi crash or whatever, that's gonna be it. But we have a base plan of what we're gonna do, and sometimes that'll whip a 180 if something cool happens. Like it's happened a lot, and a lot of our most popular videos have been because of that.
Right.
And it just, if we can think of a cool, like I think we try to think of a title, and maybe a thumbnail, what's going to look cool and stuff.
Right.
And we'll start on that. And if a cool video idea comes out of it, cool. But
absolutely.
Obviously, once you start in a new series, you're going to be like buying equipment. You're going to be setting up your farm. Basically the same as what you usually do. People do enjoy that, I do find. But yeah, I guess we always try to find a way to change it up.
It's a mixture of, you have the usual, the ones that they perform decent and people enjoy them, and they're in every series we do. You know, oh, we're building our new farm, oh, we're planting corn, oh, you know, the basic farming aspect. You always have those. But we try to spice them up a little bit. We try to, even in that video, or maybe every few videos, we do something unique, different, and sometimes it's completely not planned whatsoever, and those are some of the best videos. You know, you kind of plan, you know, so today we're gonna do this, and then maybe like you come over here and we talk about this for a little bit, and then like this happens and we're like, oh, we should buy something, you know, so you have that kind of roughly planned out. But then maybe on the way over to my place, you roll your truck accidentally, like out of character, out of script, just for some reason you rolled your truck. And then, you know what? We just go with it. And that makes the video 10 times more interesting. It's those unexpected, unplanned things that I think capture the interest of the viewers a lot of the time.
Oh, for sure. And you'll definitely have, I've noticed something with like views and videos, like you'll have weeks that'll just plummet. Everything will just plummet. And it'll be gone, and no matter how hard you try, the algorithm just isn't there, and you aren't going to get views. You're not going to get above like 10,000 or whatever. And there's other weeks where every video you do will just get 15, 20,000 views, and it flexes so much. It's crazy. Like you'll think, oh, I've had a whole week of bad videos. It's never going to go up from here. Like something happened. Like I don't know what happened, but something happened. Right. And then next week you'll have a video that does really good, and it'll just set the trend for the rest of the week. Like it'll change so much.
It does. There are so many variables that go into these things. An algorithm change, a slight algorithm change on YouTube or Google's end, just the time of the year, you know, whether or not your target audience is overly busy or they have free time, the content you're putting out. There are so many variables. It's hard to pinpoint and hard to project growth, you know, and project consistency. But I'm a huge numbers guy. I like to look at the research. I like to look at the analytics. I research anything and everything before I ever do it. Like when I went to buy my car, I knew more about it than the salesman, kind of thing, right? So when you look at YouTube and you look at your analytics, even with all the uncertainty and all of the things that you cannot predict, you see trends. There are trends, and it usually falls into, you'll have a week, anywhere from a week to 3 weeks that are really, really good. And then it'll just fall off for a week, maybe 2, and then it'll pick up a little bit again, and it just kind of keeps that fluctuation up and down, up and down. And I have been trying to figure out the perfect formula, the perfect way to, in those down weeks, spike the channel with something very interesting to kind of, kickstart the upward trend sooner. And it's something that I have not perfected yet. But have you noticed that there's a trend of that too? Like, have you tried to counteract it in your channel, or have you just kind of let it go and just, accepted like you're going to have bad weeks and you're going to have good?
It's so hard to predict and try to change stuff. Obviously, so I think what happened here, because I've had more of a down week on my channel, and what happened, I think, was I stopped doing multiplayer videos, and videos on Nebraska and stuff.
Yeah,
and I tried to change that up.
So you're not getting in that nice little network we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, and I think that does play a huge variable because obviously, as most YouTubers know, like anywhere from 50 to 70% of their viewers aren't actually subscribed to their channel, or the subscribers don't watch the videos. That just happens. It is what it is.
Which most people would think that that's a problem, and you don't want that. That's actually not a bad thing. Because
it's more of a good thing.
It's a good thing because if I'm going to be honest, past 1,000 subscribers, the sub count doesn't matter. It really doesn't.
I mean, 100K plaque would be pretty cool.
Yes,
but
you get to that point, and for like the kind of just the self-satisfaction of, okay, I've made it, I am succeeding. Like it's just a kind of like a confirmation of your hard work, right? When you see the sub count increase. But as per actual views and exposure and growth, really, like your sub count doesn't have a whole lot to do with it.
And I think it does have a little bit to do with like advertisers looking at you. Like,
oh yeah, for sure,
you can get all the views in the world, but if you don't have some sort of like a decent sub count, like that does affect it a little bit. But overall,
they like to see an engaged following. They like to see your followers are engaged in you and in what you put out. So yeah, you're absolutely right there. But I guess my point of this was, if you were looking at your analytics and you saw that 90% of your views come from your subscribers, well, that's actually not a good thing, because that means you're only staying in your little wheelhouse and you're not being promoted to people who don't know you and don't watch you, which means you're not going to grow as fast. You're going to have difficulty growing if that's the case. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. And if it does say that, like, if it does say that most of your viewers are like not subscribed to your channel, that's good, because it's promoting the video to people that have never even seen Farm Sim before. I noticed with your most popular video, there's people commenting like, I've never seen this before.
Yeah, there's people down there that are like, I'm at an all-time low. I'm watching a guy pretend plow snow in a video game. Like they've clearly never watched Farming Sim a day in their life, but somehow they're winding up on that video.
Oh, and for sure, that's pretty cool. Like the fact that YouTube is able to do that, like it's able to bring in a whole new audience to something that has never been seen before by that person. It's like pretty cool. So it definitely has its ways of growing.
Right. And we're talking about, stats and stuff here. I'm looking at your Social Blade right now as we talk. And I can see, you're sitting at 23.8 thousand subscribers, at least according to Social
Almost
Blade.
About 29. I think actually, if I look on my channel right now, if I look at my sub analytics right now, okay, it's 23,899 right now. So
okay, so we're gonna call it 23.9.
All right. So
you're at 23.9 thousand subscribers, and you're polling, according to Social Blade, 77,000 views a week, which is not bad. I mean, if you break that down, like let's say you got a couple 10,000 plus days here. You have Tuesday, which was 4, and you have Wednesday, which was 8.8. So I can see where you are in kind of this downward trend almost. Coming off the previous week where you're sitting 12s to 15s, right?
Yeah, the previous week, that's been really good. And I think the video my second best video right now is probably going to become my best video. That has been actually one of my most top videos. Well, it's been my second, if not top video in the last week or 2 or 3 weeks. Since this came out, it's always been in the top videos thing. And I think that does help a lot. And even I noticed Grant, like, for instance, his channel, he'll have a video that doesn't do so well. He's still getting like 200 to 300K views a day.
Right. He averages, I think, 230 or 240, right? 1,000 views a day.
For sure.
And I know, according to like Social Blade, I'm not looking at it at the moment, but I was checking it out earlier today. I believe right now he's for the last 30 days he's at like an 8 or near 9 million views, which is actually down for him.
Yeah, which is crazy. But he has started uploading more, and obviously doing some different content that has gotten him some more views. And I'm sure he's had months where been at like 20 million. It just happens.
Yeah, and when I was, because I was looking a lot, like I said, I'm a numbers guy. December of 2018, I believe, he had an amazing month. That month, he gained 53,000 subs or something like that.
I'm pretty sure that was when Farm Sim came out, right?
It would have been a little after Farm Sim 19 came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been probably. Yeah, it would have been after for sure, because like November, October.
Oh yeah, so it would have just probably came out, and it was starting to gain some popularity again.
Right. So that wasn't like a crazy good month for him. But then you look at December of like 2019, right? And I think he gained 15,000. So there's just a huge variance. It's ridiculous, honestly. But as long as you're seeing green, that's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, green or even a gray up is always good. Like, if you've had a month that's done better than that, great. But it varies so much. I think you're not really on a downward trend. I am a little bit. I think that's just because I had a couple really good videos that gave me an initial good trend. Mm-hmm. But it will change. I'm sure it'll go back up eventually. But now, it just changes.
I'm not on a downward trend per se for February, but I'm not. I mean, I am. I am down for February, but it's not terrible. So January, which you would think historically is usually pretty bad, was a decent month for me, at least view and sub count wise. 631,000 views and 3.4 thousand subscribers in the month of January. We look at February, which, however, is not done yet, so keep that in mind. But February so far, 502,000 views and 2.9 thousand subscribers. So I am down a bit. But I had, for sure, towards the end of January, beginning of February, I was in a really, really low spot. I was really down. So I'm on the rebound from that, and things are finally getting back in tow with how they are usually, like my average.
Yeah, and I think why I'm in a little bit of a downward trend, like from Social Blade's standpoint. Actually, right this month my views are up. It's because I have been posting every second day. I was posting every day in December, but every second day since January and February. For all of January and all of February, I've been posting every second day. Mm-hmm. So that will cut your probably subs in half, and it will most likely cut your views in half.
It'll definitely decrease your views. Now, the interesting thing is, if you post every other day, then you give that video more longevity. It has more of a lifespan, because you might have a video that's in the green. It's doing like 50% better than usual. But then you cut it off by posting a new video the next day, and people are going to go watch that one instead,
Yeah, for sure. I think that does definitely play a part in it. But at the same time, if you post every day, that gives your videos more chance to gain popularity and, well, not gain popularity, but it will give them more of a chance to go viral. If you're posting every day. Yeah, the algorithm's going to like you a little more, and your overall view count is going to increase because you have more videos. I mean, it's just simple. More videos, more views. And that's the great thing. Like, you can have the worst day ever, and your video will only get maybe 5,000 or 6,000 views, and you'll still be in the green because you're still getting views from old videos. Like, it's pretty crazy. The more videos you get on your channel, the more backlog and kind of like they just help, because people are clicking on those randomly, right? So they count as views. So you might look at someone's channel, I'd be like, oh man, their video only got 3,000 views today. But you go to their Social Blade, and their Social Blade is like, nah, dude, they got 8. And you'll be like, that doesn't match up. Well, it's because of the other videos on their channel. Oh, for sure. And even if you have a most popular tab on your YouTube channel, I think that really helps a lot, because then people want to see, oh, what was this most popular video of this awesome farmer guy? Right. Like, even me when I was younger, I was like, oh, well, this is cool. They have what I always check. If I find a new channel, I always check what their most popular video was. Right, because it's I want to see it. It's a good judge of their content a lot of the times. But you're like, well, this is the most popular one. Like,
This has got to be the best of the best. Let's check it out. Do I like this person?
And my unfortunate thing with that is my best video is one of my older ones. So it was when I had a way worse mic and stuff, and I was not that good at roleplay. So it did not help my situation as much as you think it would.
Right, right. It is interesting. That's something to keep in mind too, you know, for people that have YouTube channels or trying to grow. Setting up your actual YouTube page is so important. You want to make things easy for people. You want people to find this stuff easily. You want to be able to put the most interesting stuff at the top, or maybe the newest stuff at the top, I should say, and then the most interesting stuff, the one right below it. You know what I mean? Oh, for sure. It just really helps out. When you go to a channel and their homepage, their channel page doesn't have a lot of playlists or isn't decked out or doesn't have videos right there for them to click, then they have to go into the video tab and they have to click sort by most popular. It's just so many more steps. You want to make it easy because it's just so much more likely that they're going to click it, you know? Oh, yeah, I do agree. And one thing I did mention to Spencer is he used to have, not trying to down on Spencer or anything here, but he did have his videos, they all used to be older ones right at the top, and he didn't used to have any uploads or anything. And I mentioned that to him. He's like, oh, yeah, you're actually right. So he changed that, and I've actually noticed some of his videos have done a little better because of people looking on his page and they can see that. Right. And I don't know, maybe if that's because of that, but it just seemed like once he did that, it's at least a small percentage. It's a small factor into it. Because I've personally, you know, I've gone to a channel that I maybe haven't watched in a while. I'm like, man, I haven't seen anything from this guy. And then I won't, if they don't have like the uploads deal, and I just see stuff from like, say, FS17, then I'm like, oh, they don't post anymore, you know? Yeah, and it's not very interesting to look at. Right. So, yeah, I think it just helps a lot if you do that, if you change it up or change it to so how it looks actually, how it should look. Absolutely. I mean, there's so much that goes into it, and every single thing that we could talk about with maximizing your video's potential and your channel's potential, you know, all of it has a small aspect in your channel's success. But I think the biggest one, now, this is arguable, but to me, the biggest thing is the networking, having a community of other creators that you cross-promote with. To me, that's the most important thing. Oh, I agree. I definitely agree. It helps us so much. You have no idea how much it actually helps. It's ridiculous. Right. Having a network of people that you all get your videos recommended to, even if you're a small group of YouTubers or you don't have like the biggest channels. If you have less than, I don't know, 1,000 subs, it still helps. It will always help you. Absolutely. To have a network of people. Absolutely, because you build a community between channels of people that are like, man, you know, especially if you're recording videos together in a series or role play or whatever, people are going to be like, man, I really like this, and I'm kind of curious to see just the other point of view, because like this guy drove off and did his own thing for a little while. I wonder what he did in this video, and then people go and click on it. And how do you think most of the phase guys, most of the older, I know most of the newer phase guys don't have this, but most of the older phase guys have way over 1 million subs because they've all done videos with each other and it all helps. Right. Especially since they're part of the phase brand. And I guess, I don't know if you could call us part of a brand, but we are linked in a YouTube series. And I think that helps. Yeah, we're not in any official clan or group or anything like that. Which would be cool. I think we should eventually look into that. It's just a group of friends that record together, and that's it, you know? Yeah. But it does definitely help out a lot. Oh, I agree. Yeah. But circling back just a tiny bit, I don't know, because networking is definitely huge. For growth, that is huge, but a lot of people would probably argue with me on saying that quality content is more important. And I would argue that that's a given. Like, that's just duh. Is a given. You should have that regardless. That's no duh. We're talking like you should already try to put out quality content, and then everything else we're talking about is to supplement that. You know what I mean? Yes. But agreed. One of the things that I know we do a lot of, which I think has really helped, is we will think of what's a cool title, what's a cool thumbnail. You brought it up earlier, but that is so important because you could have a good video that's really not an amazing thumbnail. It's generic. It's, oh, look at a tractor in a field. Wow. You know what I mean? Like there's 10,000s of those. There's like thousands of those videos. Why should I watch this one?
Oh, for sure.
Whereas if you have an interesting title and thumbnail, something no one has ever seen before, something that's unique, different, it's going to get clicked because it is different.
Oh, for sure.
And an example of that from my channel recently was, again, probably one of my favorite videos recently is that tandem heavy haul. That thumbnail is a banger thumbnail. The title, I wanted a different title, but Clutch literally took the title I was going to use word for word before I posted mine, so I had to change the title.
Yeah.
But still not a bad title. It's, you know, it's okay. Tandem heavy hauling a massive cat wheel loader. I feel like that paired with a thumbnail, primarily the thumbnail, you want to click it. You know what I mean? But
and speaking of thumbnails, Grant just uploaded a video not too long ago, and it has no thumbnail except just the generic one that YouTube already puts there.
I saw that,
and that is pretty hilarious. I'm actually gonna message him about that right now. But,
he'll appreciate it because he won't know that. Yeah, I saw that. I saw the title and I looked at the thumbnail. I was like, "What is?" No, he'll appreciate you telling him that because he needs to change it. But
there we go. Problem solved.
One of the things I've been thinking about, and hear me out on this. Who is the fastest growing YouTuber right now? Who?
Fastest growing? Like
arguably.
Like, are you talking in YouTube general or in general? Fastest growing?
I mean, you know, surely there's probably a channel we don't even know about, but you're a huge fan of this person.
Well, now I'm trying to think of who you're talking about.
Mr. Beast.
Oh, Mr. Beast. This is true. This is Mr. Beast.
And he's a very smart person when it comes to YouTube. He knows what he's doing. And I've been thinking to myself, we need a Mr. Beast of the farming sim community. we need a country Mr. Beast.
This is true. And I think if it's going to be anyone, it should be Grant for sure. It
should be Grant. We need a Midwest Mr. Beast. That's what we need. And
very true.
I don't know. I think, and I'm not saying, you know, take Mr. Beast's ideas verbatim. I'm saying take his philosophy in how he makes his videos and apply them to the farm sim / farming community on YouTube. And there are people that are doing that already. There are people that are seeing insane growth because of it. One person who I'm astonished with his growth is Cole the Corn Star.
Very true.
I don't know how long he's been making videos.
Not very long.
I only know of him. I've came across him because you guys talked about him when he had 80,000 subs, and this was no more than 4 months ago. Okay, the dude's over 200,000 now. I mean, it's ridiculous.
He's actually almost he's at 230K.
Yeah, like ridiculous. But
oh yeah,
when you look at his video titles and you look at his thumbnails, they're designed to blow up. They're designed to go viral. You know what I mean?
And I think YouTube, like I seen one of Millennial Farmer's videos a couple months. I think it was actually one of the first videos that ever made it onto the number or in the trending page that I have ever seen personally. I could be wrong.
For the farming community.
For farming.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm curious about it because I don't know if it's a coincidence or if YouTube saw this market and saw its growth potential and promoted it harder. I really don't know. But a lot of the farming YouTubers specifically have just exploded in the last year and a half.
Oh, I think it's because just YouTube is trying to promote the farming industry all together. I think it's definitely an interesting thing on YouTube. And I know this farming YouTubers get way higher CPMs than any gaming YouTuber ever would because of the personalized ads that they get.
Oh yeah, probably. And then
so that's another one of the advantages of being a YouTuber.
Another thing that comes into this is I think you have a lot more interest with your general population in where their food comes from, and being more educated on that. And I think YouTube recognized that market interest, and I think that's part of the reason why a lot of these farming sim YouTubers are just doing so well in the last year and a half, 2 years now. I mean, there are some that have been doing it for many years, you know, and it's just the last year and a half, 2 years, the growth has been exponential. It's been crazy.
Oh yeah, it's like Peterson Farm Bros. They've been doing it for years. Like they've been doing their farmer parodies. They've been doing their vlogs and stuff, and they've been doing that for years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just looking at Millennial Farmer's channel right now, and he's been doing it for 3 years. He's been vlogging for 3 years now, and it seemed to work out really well for him. Which
here's the other crazy thing is, like, you look at this stuff, and I'm a very impatient person. It's weird. I'm very patient, but I'm also very impatient. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I constantly remind myself, like, it's okay, things will come, things will, you know, everything will work out, because it always does. It always has worked out for the most part. And if it doesn't, you adapt, you change, you rework it so it does work out. But there's also a part of me, and I think it's important to, if you're trying to grow, you have to be impatient a little bit. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. You got to always be trying the next thing. Like, you got to keep on top of the trends. You got to keep on top of all this.
Because, well, I look at, like, you know, oh my gosh, millennials have been doing this for 3 years. That's so long. 3 years? I'm going to have to wait 3 years to even get to that, like, a similar point as him, possibly? That is so much time. But then you look back, and I'm like, dang. I went into college in 2016. And I feel like that was yesterday. It's really not that long. It's not that much time. I mean, we've been doing this series for 7 months. I think we might be coming up on 8. 7 or 8 months. We've been doing this series, recording together.
No, it's more like 6 or 7.
Okay.
I remember putting out my first roleplay video about 6 months ago. And
it's coming up on 7.
It was coming up on 7. But
we're coming up on 7 months. But even still, it feels like we've been doing this for like 4 months.
Oh yeah, the amount you grow is absolutely ridiculous. Especially if you network with people, it's ridiculous.
It is. It is. I mean, to think in 6, or call it 7, because we're coming up on 7. To think in 7 months, my channel is about 35,000 subscribers. Your channel is about 24,000 subscribers.
Very close.
Buck is about 10 or so, right?
Buck has it, like, started way back.
And he started no more than 2 months ago.
Yeah, he started fairly late in the roleplay aspect of things, and rightly so. I mean, we did urge him very much so to start it sooner, but
we did. We were pushing Buck. We were like, man, trust me, you're going to regret not starting a channel. And
I'm not saying, and not trying to down Buck, but I think he has a little bit. Not gonna lie, I think he has just a little bit of
regret.
Yeah.
Oh, probably. But he started it, you know, and as long as he keeps with it, that's what matters.
For sure.
What was I? Oh man, I was about to say something, and to touch on how important networking is. I tried making videos, so I've tried YouTube since 2011. Okay. I've been on this channel since 2013. I've had it. I started uploading in 2015. Okay. And I have grown an unfathomable amount more in the last 7 months than I grew in 2 years on my own on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a saying, I can't remember who says this, but they're absolutely right. Someone said, you look at your favorite creators, no matter who they are, no matter their sub count, their first 100 videos sucked. 100%. Their first 100 videos probably sucked and probably didn't get very good views. And you know what? That's about accurate, I would say.
Oh, I agree.
Make it 100 videos in. By that time, you've got this thing down, or at least you're starting to figure it out. And you should start to see some traction at least.
Yeah, the thing with YouTube is I think it's such a, if you're trying to break into a market of people, of content and stuff, and it's so overpopulated, I think. Right. It's very hard, as well as Twitch and Mixer and any other streaming platform. Pretty much, it's unless you were an OG, or you have a really good thing going for you. Or you get promoted by someone. It's very hard to make it on your own, especially now.
It is very difficult. It's a very saturated overall market. So you got to find something that you're passionate about and has a niche or niche, depending on where you're from, following. Something that's a smaller market. You're going to have more success growing in that.
Oh yeah, and something Ninja said, like, he has said, if I don't remember the exact words he said about this, but he said this a couple months ago, basically find a game that's smaller and that has a small audience, and if you can build yourself to like 200 or 300 viewers on, like, he was talking about Twitch at the time, if you can build yourself to 200 or 300 viewers, and then when a new game drops that's going to be big, and you know it's going to be big, you hammer that, and you will get a new audience, and it will help you, or you'll grow that current audience.
Right.
And it will definitely help you.
It's all about expanding on your current audience and your current market and increasing your reach, because there's a lot of channels, and you know what? It's not a bad thing. There's not a bad thing to be niched the whole time. Okay. But there's a lot of channels that honestly limit their potential by not expanding into other, markets or outlets.
Yeah.
But on the same side of it, they found a community that works for them, and they have built a successful channel or whatever it may be within that community. And if they can continue to ride that, especially if it's a community that will have longevity, it's not a bad thing. But if it's not a community with a longevity, if it's a game that, if it's a Fortnite, for example, it will die off. It will. And you know what? It has actually quite a bit.
And there's YouTubers that have made, I would almost say millions or billions off of Fortnite. I shouldn't say billions, but like millions of dollars off of Fortnite content. And there's some of them like Laserbeam and stuff that people just enjoy their content, whatever they do. And here's how he did it. He had an audience. It was about, I think, 3 or 4 million subs, and he'd just do the most random stuff. And then he switched to Fortnite. He got like 12 million on that, and he's still switched. And his videos have still, he did a Roblox video the other day. I think he got like #1 gaming trending. Like, really? It's just ridiculous.
Right.
And he has such a diverse audience.
It's converting people from a content follower to a personality follower.
Yeah,
if you can
no
get
matter
people,
what game Laserbeam has played, I've always watched his videos because he's such an interesting person to watch.
Right. If you can get people to like you because of you, they come for the content, they stay for the person. Right?
For sure.
That's really the best way to think about it. And if you can get that, then you're going to have an easier time breaking into new markets. One of the nice things about Farming Sim, which honestly is a little scary this year with Giant's announcement of pushing back 21, or the next game, I should just call it the next game. It's always been consistent, and it had longevity because you knew every 2 years the next Farming Sim was coming out. And there's always a big hype increase when the next one came out, and it was consistency, which is huge. In an industry of very inconsistent, uncertain, like a lot of uncertainty, that is so important. And when I heard that Giants was pushing back the next Farming Sim, I was concerned, because from a player of the game, that's great news. But from a content creator, it starts to cause uncertainty in what previously you considered to be very consistent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the thing is, I think it's honestly going to help us at this point because they're going to come up with new DLCs. We can think of content for that. Modders, I've noticed, have started working on new projects because they're not having a switch right away.
Right.
A lot of modders I've talked to and a lot of modders I know. And it's given us chances to think of new ideas, not just like trying to just bang out content till the new game.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually given us time to like, okay, we got to think of good ideas here because we gotta keep the new, we gotta keep it interesting for like another extra year or 2 years.
Right.
Like we always gotta keep
partially as a content creator sucks, but
yeah.
Like when this whole thing first happened, I was kind of weary. I was a little concerned, but my concerns have been put to rest because I don't know how many people knew this, but Giants is opening a new office in the United States in Chicago.
I did hear about that. That's going to be awesome.
And that tells me right there that, one, they're going to be taking the U.S. market even more serious. Two, they plan to stay. They plan to continue making Farm and Sim games for a while. You know what I mean? You're not going to open up a new office in a whole new country if you don't plan to grow. So that was very reassuring of me to see. And that has kind of like put away some of my concerns that I had previously when this whole thing initially went down.
Yeah.
And I'm back to the mindset of, okay, you know what? It's back to a consistency. It's back to I can expect and trust that there will most likely be a new game coming out.
Yeah.
A lot of interesting stuff. A lot of, I mean, we could talk about this kind of stuff for hours.
Oh, we could talk about it for
and
days.
We could, and I would love to. You know what else I'd love to do, man? So I've been looking. I've been looking within the next 6 months to a year of buying a house. And if I do, I want to, in the basement of that house, I want to build a studio where I can record my video games and stuff, edit my videos, but primarily where I can set up a podcast studio, a set. I want to make this stuff filmed. I want to put it on video.
Yeah.
That would be super cool. And then obviously if it calls with like you or whatever, like we'll still do them over Discord or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
I just come there. You know?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. But we can have the occasional podcast where you are in person and whoever is in person. I think it's super cool. I think it could be really exciting. But either way, that's going to be it for this podcast. I think I have to go personally. If you guys want to hear more podcasts, let us know. Austin, you have anything to say as we close out here?
Make sure you subscribe to The Formal Pickle and Austin Farmer if you haven't already.
There you go.
Be sure to like the podcast, and I hope you'll enjoy it.
To all of our friends listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, literally every other podcast streaming service out there, we appreciate you. If you guys didn't know and you're watching this on YouTube, you can also check it out on all of the podcast services, literally every single one. It's the Pickle Jar Podcast. Pretty simple. Either way, thank you guys, and until next time, we'll talk to you later.